again. If you watched my first video, I told you I was going to do one of these videos um, on my coming out story. My coming out story is kind of complicated, so I'm just kind of going to go through and do what happened. I mean, biggest part for me was coming out to myself and realizing that I was gay. It was not easy. I had thought about it for probably 2 years before I even admitted it. At first I thought maybe I was just bi, and I was very confused. I didn't know, I was like, well, I have dated guys, but as I went through the process, I realized that I only dated the guys because I thought that was the right thing to do, but they never lasted long. I never really had an attraction to them. I'd say things like, oh, this guy's cute, because that was what you did when you were in junior high. You always had crushes on guys, but deep down inside I was like, well, that girl's really pretty, and I didn't think it was that odd. I thought every girl, thought maybe another chick was pretty. So 2 years later, I figured it out. I said, I think I'm gay. I don't think I'm bi. I really don't have any attraction to guys. I, am not physically attracted to them. I saw them more as my buddies, hey, let's talk about this. And like I said, when I was in between my school years, I, realized, I am gay. I should probably tell people. And I started out telling my friends. I basically told them, I'm like, I don't think I like boys. Don't hate me. I'm still the same person. And a lot of my friends were like, we understand, that's fine, we kind of knew, and I basically asked them how they knew, but anyway, so I told them, and they all were pretty cool. I did lose a couple of people that I thought were really good friends of mine, but I learned that that's gonna happen. Then, they were all like, you should probably tell your parents, and I'm like, but my dad is gonna kill me, and my mom, I don't know where she's gonna go. And my mom, I figured, would be the better person to take it, because I have a cousin, and she has been a lesbian for many years. Like, I think now it's like 14 years, 12 years, something like that. So I figured my mom would be okay. We have another lesbian in the family, it wouldn't matter. So finally, my 11th grade year, I decided I'm going to tell my mom. I can't sit down and tell her face to face. I'm still accepting this myself. I never even told any of my friends face to face. I sent them all text messages or wrote them a letter. I did, however, decide that it would be best to tell my mom in a note, which I don't really recommend. So here's tip 1. I would not tell your parents in a note. If you can, tell them in person. It's hard to do it that way, but it's a little less trying on your nerves if you write it down, because writing mine down, I wrote it out. I wrote all this thing like, hey mom, I think I'm gay. I don't understand why. I don't think there is a reason why, but this is how it is. And I basically decided that I was going to leave it in the car for her the next day. Well, that didn't go over very well, because I left it in the car, and then she never said anything to me. And so 2 days go by, and I'm like, did she get the note? Do I need to write another one? What is going on? Like 3 days later, my mom sends my sister over to the neighbor's house to get something, and she's like, so, Brittany, you think you're gay? And I was like, yeah. You did get the note. And she's like, why? And I basically told her, I was like, I don't know why. I don't have a reason why. I'm not attracted to guys. I think this is it, could use your support. She freaked out. Let's just put it that way. She just freaked out. She told me that if I couldn't give her a reason why, I was going to go to a counselor and give them a reason why. She asked me all the usual, how well have you ever been with a guy? Or have you ever been with a girl? And I was like, no. She's like, well, then how do you know? I was like, I just know. Which isn't a lie. I do just know. I did just know. I just knew. And she didn't like that answer. So I went to a counselor. He flat out told her, there isn't always a reason why she is the way she is. I can't make that change. And she didn't like that very much either. It kind of went swept under the rug for a long time. It never really got brought up again until I had my first girlfriend, and she found out about that. And my first girlfriend was 2 years older than me, and my mom was mad. And we got into a fight about something stupid. She basically kicked me out of the house. She says it's not because I was gay, but in the argument, the point got brought up that I was no longer allowed to see my girlfriend, and she kicked me out. And so after I got kicked out, it was like this big thing because DSS got involved and whatever. So I ended up in a foster house for a month. My mom's still telling the foster people, don't let her talk to this girl. She didn't tell them why, but she said I was not allowed to have contact with her. I was in a foster house for a month, and then I moved to my dad's house, which in the process of my mom kicking me out and me moving to my dad's house, my mom managed to call my entire family and inform them that I was a lesbian, which my mom had knew a year before and had told me that I needed to tell my dad and the rest of the family, and I told her I would tell them when I was ready. So this was kind of her way of getting back at me, and she called my dad and my grandma and my other grandma and my entire family. She called my entire family and outed me. So I didn't have to tell anybody else. My dad didn't care, surprisingly. He called me up after the fact, or when I moved in with him, and said, your mom called me and told me that you were gay and got really mad when I was like, so. He's like, I still love you, I don't care. So I thought my dad would be the one to freak out, but it was opposite. I do recommend, though, that if you are going to tell your one parent, you might want to tell them both close to the same time, because it's not fun being outed by your mother to the rest of your family, because now you're like, I don't know who in the family knows and who doesn't. My family now, there's very few people in my family that'll actually talk about it. My dad, he loves the idea. He tells everybody I'm a lesbian, which in itself is quite embarrassing. My mom's side of the family, like my grandma on that side, will talk to me about it, but everybody else in the family doesn't talk about it. It kind of goes unsaid. So that helps, it sucks because I get the, how is your friend doing, when they know I'm dating her, but they don't want to say girlfriend. I don't know why. But we don't really talk about it. It kind of goes unsaid. So my coming out story, I came out to my mother, and she outed me to everybody else. So I only had to tell one person in my family. It sucked. It was very hard to write the words down. It was very hard to listen to my mother, try to figure out why. Like I said earlier, I don't recommend writing it down unless you're going to read the paper to people, because it doesn't always go over very well. And because my mom waited so long, it made it harder on me, because I didn't know, if she got it, if she was going to say anything, how she felt about it. I don't really have much other advice. I mean, I'm not the type of person that's like, hey, my name's Brittany and I'm a lesbian. Usually, when I meet new people, most people don't know I'm gay. I don't. I mean, I guess I have some mannerisms, and once you get to know me, you pick up on them more. But I, the type of person to hide that I'm out. Hey, that's it. This video is really long. I apologize. Um, I will be posting an It Gets Better video at some point, and I'll probably post a couple others with other ideas. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.